How do folks, Massey Dave here. Right, this is a bonus video from last Wednesday, which I was going to put in Thursday's video, but there was just far too much of it and it was very interesting. A few hours having a look round. So here's what we looked at on Wednesday. Hope you enjoy it, because I did. And thank you to Alan and his band of merry men. Some of them knew me, apparently. Some have been to me, which I didn't know. Not necessarily to me, but to the upholstery lady next door. So thank you for your hospitality and thank you for letting me look round. So I hope you all enjoy this one. This location with some interesting stuff. So we're going to have a look round and see what there is. First off there, AEC. From Lidford Sawmills, donkeys years ago. What a beast. Would that be like what they call not a matador, but just an AEC, I think, isn't it?
It's a matador.
It is.
Yeah. The owner will be here later.
So I seem to remember, what's his name, Lord Muck. He went somewhere where there's one of these with a body on the back, the engine was knackered, and I think they've rebuilt the engine, but...
Yeah, this is a runner, and it's undergoing regular kind of maintenance and little improvements. But there is another one on site here, which is actually undergoing a major refurb. It's brought out actually ready for an operation that we've got to do at some point in the near future, and that is to haul some tree trunks on the timber cart with the steam engine back to the yard so we can put it through the saw. So what sort of era was this built in then? Well, I think sort of late 1800s.
A bit before my time then.
Yeah. It's had a bit of a refurb. Some of the timbers look fairly fresh.
I expect that sort of oak frames on there. I expect that, isn't it?
Yeah. Some nice solid riveted wheels.
Yeah.
Big bearings, and it's sprung. So it's got actually sprung axles.
The suspension.
Yeah.
Ideal. I'll say old Volvo BM loading shovel there. We got a crane here. We've got do not exceed load 1.5 tons from any radius from 20 to 30 feet. But yeah, he's a few years old.
We ran it up a couple of weeks ago, so it's fully operational. It is designed as a mobile unit, although it will move under its own steam on level ground. So on a sort of a quayside, installation, it would run, but it hasn't got sort of.
I guess that's the steering.
That's.
Yeah, it would be. Yes, that's the steering to move the axle round, because you're on a gear so it wouldn't have much radius on the steering, because it'd pivot on that point there. Got the drive gears under the back there for the back axle.
Hasn't moved far in recent years.
Yeah,
but it does operate.
It's been well greased under there. Yeah. And that's number 148. Is it portable?
It's a portable, yeah. It's a portable engine. I think it's nominal 18 horsepower, and that currently is set up to drive the saw bench.
Goes across onto there.
Yeah.
And then they use the crane there to bring the logs onto the end to saw them up. So I usually say there's something in steam here, but not today. Yeah, great big chimney. That's who it was supplied by years ago. Yeah, it'd be nice to see it working. Obviously, it doesn't move very far because you've got your water tub there for everything.
Yeah, it's a portable, but it usually lives here now.
It's stationary.
Yeah.
A smoke box on the front there. There we're under the covers. It's called Leviathan. Crikey, that's one big flywheel.
It is.
Well, that's got to be 6 foot across at least. 7 foot.
Yeah, I think there's a guy called Hodgson, and in the days when around the Wantage area, used to be in Berkshire.
Yeah.
Is there a maker's? Oh, what's there?
Oh yeah.
Is it Honey?
That's it, Honey.
Honey is near the Wantage area.
Berkshire, East Honey,
That
yeah.
used to be in Berkshire, it's in Oxfordshire now.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's some solid old casting, that.
Big old boring machine. Here's the noise. So I've got bits and pieces of making. I've been making all these gears here. Made all this in-house.
Fair bit of work in making that lot. All for a part of a steamer. There's a new bit there for a roll for a front part of an engine and the cap to go on the end. I didn't spot that a minute ago, but that's the remains of what was on there. So it has seen better days, isn't it?
Yeah, he spent a lot of time rebuilding all this inside as well with weld and grinding back to put some newness back into it.
Yeah.
Into the thinnest parts.
Veiling and Porter. This is, yeah, I've just noticed over there's like a chimney duct, isn't there?
Everything here in this hall is ducted. So
Yeah.
all these engines, the fan operates at the far end, and that takes. So these can be run inside.
Yeah.
And often, various functions, this is cleared out somewhat, and then tables and chairs are laid up here.
Yeah.
And we cook.
Within the front of the engine, yeah.
Yeah.
A few years ago I went to a show there and down Highbridge, and we had a bit of an evening do, and they actually cooked some lamb and some beef in the in the front of the boiler.
Yeah.
Very nice too it was.
Yeah. The ladies in attendance will come in and look after us with wonderful food, really, from inside the engines, and jacket potatoes and to go with it and stuff.
Yeah, I was just saying to myself, that's the one there that I've seen.
That's ploughing.
Ploughing.
Yeah.
Have the cable down with that plough that's in the other shed there, pulling it forwards and backwards.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. You can see all the maintenance records that are sort of going on.
Need doing.
Because it is constant,
Oh yeah, we don't look after it. It's
never ending. This is just been at a show recently, so now I'll come back in and need to go right through.
Yeah.
Get it back.
A lot of polishing and painting and touching up, and say there's certainly a lot of love and a lot of time goes into keeping it just going and alive.
Volunteers that come in and
there's the other one.
Yeah, Rusty.
Yeah.
And that is unrestored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think back in the day when they built these things, labour prices then were probably next to nothing.
Yeah.
But the work that goes into actually making it and making the parts.
Yeah.
Try and build one of these from scratch these days, you just wouldn't do it, would you?
No, well.
Without a pattern and then time and lots of money.
Yeah. The labour force were working in environments where, hot metal was falling down around them all in every direction.
Yeah.
And it was a different world. Quite unsafe, really.
Yeah.
By today's standards, and labour was cheap, life was cheap, but a lot of effort has gone into the production of these, both in the design, because when they first came out, they were quite rudimentary, and as time went on into the 1800s, the design changed drastically.
Yeah.
Improvements were made both into the running cost and the efficiency of how they ran. Then, of course, all of a sudden, the internal combustion engine came in and
took over.
That was them.
Yeah.
Gone. Many were destined for the scrapyard.
Yeah.
And it was only through the likes of the preservation societies that formed that actually, recovered them from the grips of the scrapyard.
That's
and
it.
they were already in there, parked up, ready to be chopped up.
Yeah.
So,
Say with a lot of loving and looking after, they'll still be here in another however many years.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is just time to time and expense to look after them.
Yeah.
And the knowledge.
Yeah. There's quite a movement of young people coming through the ranks who are interested enough to learn and be part of the preservation side. But it is huge effort to be part of that. And a good job is, because without that, all these skills, would be gradually
long
lost.
gone.
Yeah.
Come on in, Ryan, tell me about it, because we've seen the bit over there, didn't we, the new bit you've made for that. And you say that's looking a bit of a sorry state down there, isn't it?
Yeah, basically what's happened was, where it's been sat outside for a number of years, the water coming in down through the chimney had eroded along the top of the barrel up to where the tube plate is. The tube plate sits on the inside at that point, and it is badly eroded up here, and you can see it's gone down from 10 mil down to about sort of 8.5 there now.
Yeah.
So it had gone thin at the top, and it had also, as boilers tend to do, they'd gone thin in the bottom.
Yeah.
So rather than just trying to build up around here, which would just be a nightmare, I decided, well, that's just also, it forms part of the smoke box as well, and as you can see, it's gone thin. It's just rotted away. All the smoke box was rotted away for the same reason. So rather to do that, chop the front off. I'll weld that. Well, I won't weld it. I'll get a code welder to come in and weld that new front section
onto that.
On the front of the boiler with a new tube plate.
And obviously, all the tubes then got to go in through that right away back to that plate in the back, isn't
that's
it?
Right. Yeah. I might even be able to reuse the tubes. They were actually in pretty good condition, considering they've been in there for 30 odd years.
Yeah.
I've not investigated that in detail yet. I have to see how it looks.
And then obviously once that's on, I guess these are stops here for a sort of set measuring points you got, is it?
That's right, these are just blocks of welded on just to set my datum points. I've described
the
follow the
lines through,
I've got a list of photographs and measurements. So
it's always good to take pictures before you take stuff apart. I do it all the time, unless it's stuff I'm working on every day, then it's like you got it ingrained in the brain cell.
Yeah, so when it's back together, I can take the measurements off there, plot it all the way around and trim it to exactly the same profile. So it's being a steamroller, the front isn't just coming out square, it's got a profile that sweeps up. Yeah. Up like that. So.
And what year ride would you say this is?
What, the engine?
Yeah.
The engine's 1927.
So you said earlier, Aveling and Porter from Rochester in Kent.
That's done a little bit of...
So this is your own?
This is my own engine, yeah.
Seen a bit of action.
It's just having the time to do it though, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's having the time to do it.
That's right, time is always a thing.
Yeah.
Time. But yeah, she was last. I mean, I think the firebox, if I remember right, was put in the 70s, and the firebox was all in pretty good order. Most of the back end, other than the corrosion in the bottom of the barrel, which I've already been in and built all that back up. Yeah. And this front section here, everything else in the boiler was very good, and the boiler inspector said that once this is done, I had to put a top hat in where the fusible plug's on, because that thinned, which is a pretty common thing. It should be good for a couple of decades then. So, it's a bit of work, but it should pay off in the long run. Yeah. Well, so you got the facilities and the. That's right. I shan't ever find a place to do this work that's as well equipped as we are here. No, so you can't exactly do it in your garage at home, can you? Well, people do, but it's much easier like this.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for giving us an insight into that one.
Okay, no problem.
So the little standard here has had a bit of a refurb. Head's gone on, back on now. Exhaust manifold's back on. Colleague's been working on this. And
this is your Tinker Times on a Wednesday then. Very nice. More real old school equipment there.
Timber had a rack saw, and I bought the rack saw bench off of his wife. And when we went to pick it up, this was rammed in a shed there.
Hi, Amy.
And I ended up buying that as well.
Because Oliver was a big sort of American mate, wasn't it?
Yeah. My dad, in his working business in the 60s, he had 2 Oliver 80 diesels. 2 or 3. Certainly 2, if not 3. But none of them survived local, but I think there is one in Swindon.
Okay. There's a fair collection. Oh, no, was that a nice big winch on the back of that?
188, yeah.
188.
Ultimo or 2-speed.
Yeah.
We had that new.
Yeah.
Yeah. In actual fact, he's very square. If you look round,
I gotta say he's
tidy. He wouldn't take.
Because the back axle and that on this is the same as on the 1200.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Predominantly a 188 back end. Let's say the gearbox on 1200, 1250, the casing is the same as that 135.
Is it?
Yeah, just different stuff inside. But yeah, that's.
I got Mr. Craddock's ready after this one.
He got a Ford seat in it.
Eh?
He got a Ford seat in it.
I was parking the shed for fucking 25 years with a grandson on it. That's why he had her seats fixed on it. But, of course, there's no foot pedals. It's hand clutch, hand brake. You're all fingers and bloody thumbs when you're driving it. Like you gotta have your wits
about you. Yeah.
I brought them down to Bath and West at their Christmas bloody do one day.
Oh, was that this year or a few years ago?
About 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
6, 7. Yeah. We were coming out from there. We didn't buy nothing at the sale. And we were coming out. There was a chap loading up a tractor that he didn't sell in the sale.
Yeah.
But he had this one on the lorry, and he just picked up off a farm. And I just stopped and got chatting to him. I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "Oh, flogging on." Like, and in the end, I had a bloody deal, and I had the trailer on the fucking truck. So that was it.
Now it's here.
Well, he got a starter on, so that was what was made it a little bit more.
Power Major.
Yeah.
You see a lot of
this one here. I started restoring that in about. Well, how old was I? I was 20 or 21, and I had it in a shed up there. It was in bits. It was my grandfather's tractor, and it was left to a cricket club down at Stanton Drew, and it was in the hedge, and they were going to scrap it. So I had it off of them, and started to do it, and never finished it, and it was in bits for all those years, and I finished it a couple of winters ago. And funny enough, we just changed the tank. We had the tank on, and he's leaking internal.
Tin worm got the better of it inside.
Yeah, so well, that one was the same. So one of the boys cut a piece out the bottom.
Yeah.
Here and soldered it all up and put a patch back in it, and he's got this one to do now. So we got a spare one.
I'll say, seeing as some of the kit you got there, and it's not what you know, it's who you know sometimes, and having the stuff to do it.
This can come from out Trowbridge. Dad bought it over 30 years ago, and I use it down Cotton Down. I got some land down there. I got a mile of river in it.
Yeah.
It's always got bloody falling down trees and that. So the boys and we go down and have a play.
Have a play.
Do a bit of winching.
Yeah.
Same winch is on the 188.
Yeah.
And the same winch is on that county roadless.
Okay.
They're exactly the same winches. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see it. Little grey. Yeah.
Sorry, what was your first name? Dave?
Dave.
Dave,
Yeah. Well, call me anything you want. I'll respond. Yeah. Nice collection here.
All a bit different.
It is, yeah.
Not lots of things the same. Like one of the David Browns is the lad that works for me.
Yeah.
That's his.
Bit of variety, that's for certain.
Yeah.
See if this one bursts into life.
Just dip and foil, just to be sure. Okay.
sound. Sounds alright, doesn't it? You're Dennis.
Yeah,
I don't know about the glove.
yeah.
I'm Dave.
Dave,
Massey Dave.
Massey Dave.
Yeah. So you've been working on this, I think,
That's
haven't you?
right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell me about it then.
There's Worth. Do you know where Worth is?
Yeah, that's me.
That's you.
That's me. It is.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lady does upholstery in one of the
Yeah.
sets,
Yes.
and
She-
got a yard for bloody Massey.
So you've been there, have you?
Yeah, yeah, went to the upholstery.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Maggie. She does a lot of the stuff for me. She's just done a load of seats.
Oh yeah.
The 1250s.
Yeah.
And does all the black fabrics. It's got to be stitched in and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're working on this.
So, the Valiants, they've just sold their house up the road a bit. Builders.
No.
No. That's right, Victor. Victor.
Oh
yeah.
yes, I know. Yeah, Victor.
Yeah.
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 Me, his brother is my next door neighbour.
That's right.
I give him grief. Tell him he needs to do some work. Yeah. So come on, tell me about this one, then, Dennis.
Well, I rebuilt the one for Alan, or helped rebuild it.
Yeah.
And I always said I'd like one myself. But
Yeah.
you don't see them about.
No.
And then,
Because is it Fowler?
yes.
Yeah.
Fowler. Yeah. And we were on holiday in Tenerife, in Alan's place.
Yeah.
And I had a phone call. Somebody from Blanford, one of the steam-up boys, said, "Found you a hut."
Yeah.
I said, "If you're interested." And I texted Alan and said, "Yeah, we'll have it." Like, so we went up and got it with the lorry.
And you've been working on it ever since.
Ever since. Yeah. Only on a Wednesday.
Bringing it back to its former glory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, certainly looks nice.
It's almost there now.
Yeah.
You ought to have a peek inside
Go on.
because Dennis has really worked some miracles inside as well as outside.
Outside.
So
Oh
there's
yeah.
on the home run now,
yeah.
painting.
Cupboard seating, benches.
Yeah. Dennis will explain to you how it all works in there. The steps aren't here at the minute, so they're just painting them. Yeah, they come up,
Yeah.
and the leg drops down, and you've got
A bed
a bed
each side.
one on the end,
Yeah.
and then a double bed on this end. Goes in. There used to be 6
Yeah.
ploughman years ago, and they got a cupboard each.
All right, at the top there. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, 3 each side. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Old bloke that come in here one day said they always had a youngster what slept underneath, and his job was to keep the pot going.
All right.
Yeah, go and catch a rabbit.
Yeah.
Pheasant,
Keep them fed and watered.
dig a few of the
Yeah.
farmer's potatoes up. Just had a hot pot going all the time.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Well done. Credit to you.
Yeah.
Very nice to see. Let's go and have a look at the other bits and pieces down there.
Yeah.
And another one.
Belinda Montel
Never heard of it.
became Volvo.
Ah,
So
I'm going to say
BM
BM.
Volvo.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
where that ended up as an unusual engine configuration as well.
That's
So,
is it a sideways that way? Is it?
yeah, it's it might even be
Horizontal, not vertical.
horizontal twin.
Yeah. Something different again.
Yeah.
Nuffields. David Brown, Lord Fordson.
Yeah, with the fairing.
Yeah.
One of those went for crazy money. It was restored. It'd be in the press, something like 27 grand. It went for. I had one years ago, but it had a hand clutch at the back.
Yeah.
So you could walk it back and squash yourself against the wall. Very convenient. Yeah. Yeah.
Little Fergie's there. David Brown's. Early International. Another little Massey there. And then we got a roadless. Again, all of these will start by the sounds of it.
you look at that big roadless conversion, the front axle,
That's,
the weight of that.
yeah, that's a fair old chunk in there, isn't it?
Yeah, that would have been having some heavy use in its day, probably in the forestry. You know, look at the big rad guard.
That's it. Yeah.
The winch on the back. Hefty bit of kit.
All very nice to see. Yeah, let's go and have a gander at the steam stuff, shall we? Well, all I can say is, wow. This is a lot of steam. I've seen that one before at ploughing matches. Gosh, gosh, gosh. This is something else. I've never seen so much steam in one place. There's another little one here, a steam fire pump.
Yeah, no, fully operational. It's undergone a big boiler restoration, and it works really well. The aim is to, from the minute the fire alarm goes, you've got to get steam up in a very short time.
Yeah.
So the boiler configuration that this has got means that you can light the fire from cold, as long as it's full of water and cold.
Yeah.
And you'll get full steam pressure within probably 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
So by then, you know,
the fire's burning well.
the fire's burnt up enough so you can see what you're doing. In the dark. Yeah. But it's hand pulled. You know, there's a hand.
Oh yeah.
Car. So it probably would have lived in a factory.
Yeah.
And it would have been a bit of an insurance. And who knows whether actually it ever got used in anger. Who's to know? But it won't have done an awful lot of work.
No.
In its time, one would have thought that it's really in great condition because it's not sort of
not had the use. Yeah.
It was probably fired up every now and then to comply with some kind of
insurance.
Yeah, that it worked and was maintenance free. Yeah. Nice thing.
Got a thrashing machine here, which is undergoing current works.
It would appear that they had a catastrophic bearing failure at some point in its life, because all this bearing here has been welded up and it was completely shattered.
Yeah.
But when it came to us, that part had already been repaired rudimentarily, but one of the beta bars on the drum was missing. So where like a combine, where the concaves come down and meet the drum, one of the beaters, so it only had 3 fitted. It needs 4 or even 8, depending on what crop and how you set it. We can probably, you can see the wheels are under repair. They've gone to a wheelwright, so they're having all new wooden spokes and a new tyre.
Oh, the steel
band. And of course, that's where the name tyres come from, because it ties in the spokes.
Yeah.
And they're dropped on hot.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that happening before.
Various other bits in here. We'll work our way up to the top. We've got the ladder.
Look at various ploughs.
This is a beast.
I've got to say that's a bit of a big plough.
That takes a bit of operating.
So is that pulled between the 2 big engines in there?
Yeah, that's a different animal completely to the other. But a balance beam plough. They would have all been contractors' tools.
Yeah.
You know, they would.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 furrows each way. Yeah. Wouldn't want to drop that on me toe in a hurry. Yeah, we're up in the top looking down in.
So you can see that actually is visible. That's the beta bar we've just made. So we made a new wooden carrier. Dennis, who we met earlier on in the wood workshop, made us the wooden carrier. The beta here has to be bolted through. And then,
bits welded on the top to make the
the heads of the
Those
bolts,
bolts.
and then the wearing piece
Yeah.
is screwed on to prevent the wooden carrier from wearing. And the straw walkers are wood.
Oh yeah, let's go all the way back through there.
We've got a little bit of woodworm to contend with, so we're busy
Treating it and replacing
treating it
what.
and repairing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we've taken this box out, which is currently in the workshop. That's going to be completely rebuilt.
Yeah.
And then in use, literally, the sides get folded down, and the operator is standing here, feeding the sheaves.
All right. Yeah. Into that.
Which have been, kept from the binder. But then platforms go out here. These all hinges up and forms a big platform to work on. And so, if the sheaves are tied up with string, you take the strings off.
Yeah.
But they might be tied up with just literally twisted straws. So you would probably pull that off and feed the whole thing in. But you need to spread it out a bit as it goes in.
To keep it
The
even.
drum will,
Bind up.
Yeah. So, but you can see here, you need to chop a lot of this out and put some new timbers in. So it's coming along.
All work in progress.
We might have to put another 4. We've got that 1 beta bar, so there's 4 now, so it's balanced.
Yeah.
So now what we've got to do is
Decide
literally try and balance it. There are some odd lead pieces hammered in.
Yeah, just to.
One there. So once we've got to take the belt off, so it speeds
freely. Yeah.
It's pulling, but get the belt off and just see how the balance works. So that's
Another job to do.
another job. Yeah, well,
Bit of cleaning going on here on the boiler tubes.
those belts aren't too bad, is it, Paul?
Hey?
Wasn't too bad.
What?
Tubes.
I mean, yeah, some better colours.
Whereas those tubes go all the way back to the box at the back, do they?
Yeah.
Good. Put a bit of hair around the hole and I'll find it.
Hey?
Put a bit of hair around the hole.
It's the work. The top lot's always the hardest bloody ones to find.
What we saying about it just kind of comes out. Looks like I've had plenty of practice of pushing things in holes.
No, we look a bit more, that's the trouble.
Record, wouldn't it? Let's start again. I'm Dave.
Hi, Dave.
All right. Yeah.
This is Kev. Kev's been looking after the little Fordson standard here.
Yeah.
And he's been working on it for a little while.
Just a bit,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. It was part disassembled when I got here. So
yeah.
I'm also working out how it all go back
I'm
together.
going to say, trouble is when you start on something that's in bits that you haven't taken apart, it's always the harder job working out how it goes back together.
Discovering bits all the time.
Yeah. And then you end up with a bit, where does this, oh bugger, it is meant to go
I have
there.
asked a few questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I've got all the con rods out, new bushes.
Yeah.
Got the head back on now, obviously with all the valves and all that sort of stuff. We've got the carburetor to clean in the cleaning tank.
Yeah.
I just cleaned the air filter.
Is that what they call a water washer version? I think they had a...
It's full of oil, I know that, so just
I was going to say, I can see it's leaking there.
So that's oil. But they did a water one and an oil one.
Yeah.
So obviously that's if it's full of oil. We assume
I
it's an oil one.
did tip it over to clean it, and they said oil was coming out. I did like,
Surprise.
yeah, that's where there's a little ring up on the floor. I've had to clear up.
So you say you got the carburetor cleaning in a box over there?
Sonic tack, yeah, that's next, yeah.
Oh, I might have to get myself one of those.
Wait for it to warm up, and then we'll
Drop it in and it just dissolves everything as it.
sort of fizz away.
Yeah.
So this is a green one, but it's got
I gotta say-
bits of orange underneath it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think it's like, I think what they call a tray, it's a bit of a bitzer.
yeah, bits of maybe bits.
Bits of this, bits of
I
that.
think so. Yeah.
'Cause they were orange.
Obviously, most of it is original.
Or,
It's just
or perhaps they painted it orange, then sort of painted over the green to leave the orange stripes. For the,
Well, I think they were orange originally.
Yeah.
And then the war came out, and the fear was the Germans would see an orange tractor in the field and take it out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that ever happened.
You can tell it was picked by a farmer. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, okay. But then they came out green from the factory after that.
Yeah.
It's been painted.
This is quite unusual in it. It's got a PTO shaft.
Oh yeah. Out on the side.
Yeah, which the drive of which comes off of the belt pulley. So it looks like I don't know whether it's an aftermarket thing or whether it's a factory, but that's slightly different. And then the belt, you've still got your belt drive.
Yeah.
But obviously you've got a PTO, so that'll be quite useful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that is very difficult getting in and out as well.
Is it?
What a gear? What get that in there or out of gear?
Take the gear out of the gearbox bit to get it in, then put the gearbox back in as you're trying to put it together. Because it's obviously some sort of optional extra.
Yeah. I know with the 1250s, putting those back together, putting the drop box back onto the gearbox, you got to get a gear in before you can put it together. You can't put the gear in because you can't get it in the casing. So you got to get it in and Oh, I'll keep it the good work. I shall have to come back and see when it's running one day.
Yeah, got the gearbox out and put a new oil seal in it and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll stop
Get there one day.
Oil leaking in the gearbox, common problem apparently.
All right.
So we've sealed all that up now, so hopefully when we put oil in here it won't end up in the gearbox.
Yeah.
It used to be a question of drain a bit out of there and pour it back
in.
there in the day, and that was
Yeah.
That's what one did. Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll be alright.
Well, folks, I hope that was of interest to you. I certainly wasn't expecting to see all of that, but I'd like to thank Alan and his band of merry men, Gary as well, for inviting me along to their Wednesday afternoon chill time, play time, shall we say. So yeah, very nice to see such a marvellous collection of old stuff, engineering stuff and steamer stuff, so much in one place. And yeah, very dedicated band of merry men, so thank you very much. So hope you enjoyed watching this one. I certainly enjoyed having a look round, and never know, I might be back there again one day for a bit of a working do, who knows. So thanks for watching. Click the old like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, drop us a comment, we'll get back to you. So until next time, I'm going back to work now because this will be a separate one. Laters.